The Awakening of the Chosen. Hello, Chosen One. I'm Gabriel, the leader of the Awakening of the Chosen, and today, you've been guided here for a reason. This is no coincidence. Your presence is part of a greater cosmic plan, and what I'm about to reveal could change everything. But listen carefully. This message isn't for everyone. It's for those ready to embrace their higher purpose and uncover the hidden truths of their existence. Stay with me until the end, because what you'll learn here could unlock the next chapter of your journey and awaken the power you've always felt within. Are you ready to take the first step? Let's begin. Today, we will explore a subject almost like a cosmic dance between the visible and the invisible, that which the cosmos keeps and only shows to those prepared to really pay attention. Thinking about the universe makes me wonder about its natural intelligence. He seemed to be constantly at the proper time to reveal us something about our actual selves. Fascinatingly, others, especially those who appear to be in opposition to us, have previously seen this disclosure, which sometimes eludes our own immediate knowledge. That is very amazing. Those we sometimes see as enemies have already caught subtleties of our nature that we are currently learning. Sometimes it is these same people who look beyond our doubts and fears and see the power and potential we are still letting ourselves welcome. Our soul seems to be reflected in a kind of cosmic mirror where, while not yet completely known to us, all our capacities are seen. And just this image makes them uncomfortable. Imagine the intensity of discovering a truth so strong, it questions and disturbs what you know. They have a great respect mixed with the horror of the unknown, not just dread. They are very disturbed by what they see, which is kind of premonition of what you are going to be. Their anxiety is more than simply a fleeting sensation. It's a warning that something wonderful is about to happen, a shift they would want permanent. Desperate to resist this natural change, they are stuck in a maelstrom of contradictory feelings. This condition of suffering they go through reminds us of something basic. Sometimes we are not even aware of how our own paths could affect others. Looking at individuals who appear scared by your presence, you really see someone who is starting to reflect a potential that they always knew existed on some level. Every stride you make toward knowing your true self only serves to confirm that. Remember that this awakening is about embracing everything that has always been part of you, even if unconscious, not alone about becoming something different. This acceptance challenges people with their own need for development and change, therefore shaking their fears. You will understand that your effect on others transcends the here-now when you start to see it. It stretches forward and serves as a catalyst for significant changes for others around you, as well as for you. Knowing this helps us to welcome our authenticity boldly. We must keep in mind that by doing this, we bring much-needed light into the world, a light others may be reluctant to acknowledge or welcome, but will unavoidably have to face. Wisdom dictates that the cosmos does not center us for our personal aggrandizement, but rather inspires us. We become really co-creators, planting seeds of change wherever we go, when we can clearly perceive the effect of our actions and actual nature. Along this road, you start to perceive your opponent as mirrors, reflecting the brilliance yet to wake within you, rather than merely as adversary. This knowledge helps us to reach a stage where we can really show sympathy for others who have not yet grasped this cosmic dance of acceptance and revelation. Their anxiety starts to seem like a call to bring latent ideas to life. Ultimately, what lights within you is not just a cause of anxiety for some, but also a transforming lighthouse for many more. Remaining strong and real helps us to be accelerators for an uncontrollably occurring awakening. Let us fervently embrace who we are, as it is this awareness that finally helps to dissolve anxiety and provide serenity and clarity for others, as well as for ourselves. Deep down, the cosmos gently reminds us that real strength comes from harmony and a close connection with our own self. This is the real core of our spiritual development. Let's investigate jointly the theory that our own energies might produce vivid mirrors around us, reflecting back to others precisely what they would want never to have to deal with. It's amazing to consider that our mere existence, our presence, may highlight not just the facts of others, but also their most secret flaws and fears. When individuals we consider our adversaries see us in the light of a dream, an intuition, or simply a rare moment of clarity, they not only see us clearly, but also see themselves. This insight highlights not just what you have, but also what others wish. Have you ever stopped to wonder why, despite all your achievements, it feels like something essential is still missing? My name is Gabriel, and I've helped countless people like you discover the true spiritual power that resides within them. And today, I want to help you. If you feel like life is passing by while something important remains out of place, maybe it's time for an awakening. My audiobook, The Path of the Chosen, was created precisely for those who have reached this point. In this audiobook, I guide you to feel that enthusiasm for living in alignment with what truly matters, knowing that every step has meaning. Together, we'll transform your fears, traumas, and frustrations into powerful strengths that propel you to a new level of growth. Leave behind the feeling of spiritual isolation and find the peace of a true, constant connection with a greater energy that has always been by your side. Instead of fighting against what you feel, you'll learn to find purpose, serenity, and self-discovery to fill your inner world. This could be the beginning of a fuller, more meaningful life. I've seen it happen for so many others, and now it's your turn. Don't let this opportunity slip by. Click on the link pinned in the first comment and begin this journey with The Path of the Chosen. This is your chance to fill what's missing and finally live the life you deserve. I'll be waiting for you there. For therefore stressing an unavoidable contrast. Their disturbance is not with worldly achievement. Rather, it is with this natural genuineness that leads the illusion-based society to fall apart. Their masks, which they have worn for so long to shield themselves from their own anxieties and weaknesses, start to slide at that same moment they see the frailty of the sandcastle they have created around their life. Their unhappiness results from an even more fundamental truth, their own power and distinctiveness. Unbreakable and unstoppable is this energy. Their presence emphasizes facts they have concealed even from themselves, and in the middle of this insight, whatever help the false comparison provided vanishes. This is the thorn in their conscience. The only comparison that counts is with themselves. Always, this will leave them short. And they are aware of it too. This is what really fuels this sly infatuation. Its vitality whitens all the defects in its precisely built facade. This was an unavoidable result of his very existence, of being real and honest, not a conscious attempt to make others uncomfortable. Therefore, it is important to make clear that the conflict they go through is not connected to you personally when you light areas that have been dark for such long. Its roots are in your own inner conflict. They come to see that the disharmony resides inside of them. But rather than seeing this view as a chance for development and change, they sometimes would rather live under the misconception that by breaking the mirror, they can eliminate the unpleasant emotions that surface. Blaming the messenger instead of considering the message is a knee-jerk response. The truth is, nevertheless, once revealed cannot be buried once again. Even if it is something they are just now starting to completely realize, they are faced with a transforming new reality in which everything becomes crystal clear. You are the personification of all they hope to be. This awareness to the actual essence, both yours and theirs, cannot be discounted or brushed aside, and maybe in the process, you will discover another road ahead based on the truth and change you plant around you rather than on illusions. When we realize that our actions not only define ourselves, but also influence the reality of others, we start to own greater responsibility for the part we contribute to the shared trip. This is a complicated dance in which we encourage people to join us progressively. Clearly, this is not just the development of a fresh viewpoint, but also the fundamental core of a spiritual awakening that connects far beyond our reach. This chapter asks us to consider the intricate strands of fate and the great resilience that every one of us possesses, even if we still have to find our own full potential. There are already individuals who, in some incomprehensible manner, seem to see the scope of what is still to come as we gradually disclose bits of our essence. They seem to be softly touching the threads of our path, discovering the power we sometimes overlook in ourselves, as if in a flash of enlightenment, or maybe a voice from the cosmos. Often before we even start to conceive, this awareness of our potential drives their attempts to halt us. Imagine the anxiety of expecting an overpowering brilliance that may destroy everything difficultly constructed by means of illusions and manipulation. This makes stopping the inevitable more urgent as it seems, as if one may really influence the way a sealed destiny is developing. Everything appears to be part of a symphony meant to discourage, to dissuade, the implied doubts, the stumbling blocks, the well-planned diversions, everything. And in many respects, maybe that worked momentarily. We have all fumbled, wondered about our goals, and been guided to accept less than we should have. Still, the built-in defenses are not very readily destroyed. And it is in this battle between the doubt sown by those who undervalue us and the natural power we exude that we end up really discovering who we are. We have a strong voice inside of which we constantly repeat the truth, that we are more, that we can more. Over time, this unquenchable energy resists stillness and turns hardships into possibilities for personal development into flight. Those who question us sometimes lack the understanding needed at this level. The effort to restrict only helps to project power and to spill the horizons on which we still have to stroll. When your objectives become clear, what appeared unclear shows itself. Every movement they pursued was really a mirror of their own worries and concerns in front of our always changing existence. The hurried responses meant to prevent what you would have become unintentionally revealed your shortcomings and aspirations. Looking back, the strategies and diversions meant to send us off path appear like misplaced pieces on a board where checkmate has already softly resonated. Once we are on the road to inner truth, even challenges eventually help us to discover something deeper about the nature of destiny. They end up advancing our growth. We come to see that, ironically, all the efforts others do to slow us down are components of our progress and development. We therefore started to be the live proof of what most people dreaded. The core lesson of the story is a strong one about the actual power of self-awareness and of totally accepting our uniqueness. We may transcend what has been intended to keep us constrained by first embracing our actual self. Reality is unambiguous regardless of the darkness the whispers or shadows meant to guide us bring. Ultimately, the truth of who we ought to be radiates with a radiance impossible to undo. We are the manifestation of a destiny not able to be changed. This subject guides us to investigate something as large as it is deep, the old terror that links to tales firmly anchored in the past, rather than merely on the surface of the moment. Examining our influence helps us to see that it comes from nothing that we do or say right now. The fortitude and resiliency of past generations sustained a spiritual power, an accumulated energy that runs through our life. This vigor, a legacy that cannot be choked. It is bigger than the sum of our present components. Therefore, even if people who oppose us are not totally conscious of this spiritual dimension, they experience its great intensity. Their experience goes beyond basic personal presence. When you really show up, they face a flood of power that has been accumulating during prior lifetimes defined by quiet conflicts and tremendous victories. Each of your steps now vibrates with a tale of will that refuses to be obliterated. For those who have flourished in unfair systems meant to stifle individuals like you, all of this amounts to a visceral reminder. Their presence reflects this strong legacy and shows up as a direct threat to the basis upon which they have created their own security. His presence not only highlights future possibilities, but also reflects the relentless past by including himself as an irresistible force into the story. Then, this drive is what most strongly resonates with them. It is this ongoing movement that represents something unchangeable or under control. By assuming your role as a lighthouse of this ancient river, you not only illuminate the path to fresh possibilities, but also live evidence of a past that cannot be hushed. This mixing of old vitality with modern presence produces an uncontrollably advancing wave. You become much more than simply someone negotiating their own path. By means of you, this collective will endures, transcending the anxieties and doubts of others to confirm that something more is under motion, a monument to the tales and sacrifices of past generations. Including this legacy into every choice and deed helps your life to represent continuity and change. For those observing, it serves as a sobering reminder that they are dealing with a phenomena that denotes an unparalleled heritage, not just with a passing force. If they so want, this is not simply a threat, but also an invitation to something transforming. Actually, the opposition discovered here reflects a far deeper concern and a drive to save scarce and already antiquated resources. This ancestral urge, which you possess, keeps acting as a trigger for major transformation. It underlines how tales across the past bind us all. As you connect with this inner power, you find that you are really a vital component of something greater, of a stream of life and energy that has transcended time and is still influencing the paths of countless. Your opponents are real nightmares that unfold their webs with great clarity, not just unsettling dreams. The reality they face is not just a clash between their relative stagnation and their achievement, but also the downward spiral of a world of illusions they have painstakingly constructed over years. His successes throw a shade over his lies in an absolutely real and unavoidable manner. Indeed, all their paths toward prosperity and self-discovery are the inevitable tides of change, something that may undermine the delicate basis on which they erected their illusory empires. Under this situation, there is neither harmony or peace. Conversely, their every advancement reduces the sand foundations supporting their structures. They not only express the anxiety of losing consolidated authority by means of manipulation, but also draw attention to the fleeting nature of these successes in the real transforming light. Your breakthrough sounds like a trumpet cry of authenticity that disorients in a society that depends on the continuation of dishonesty and control driven by fear. Deep restlessness permeates these parts of the spirit because, subconsciously, they always understood that the invulnerability they exhibited was porous and false. Therefore, his presence in their minds, even if he is physically absent, is a continual and unavoidable reminder of their admitted shortcomings. You progressively become an omen within their awareness, a call to truth that will surely overcome whatever obstacles they have attempted to create. Though quiet, the danger is strong and shows itself in the slow and deliberate destruction of buildings thought to be unquestionably strong. They cannot now hide behind falsehoods or conspiracy theories. Their stories cannot halt this unavoidable tide, this reevaluation of the story, insisting on maintaining them at the false top. The possibility of you altering the narrative of not just theirs, but many others who resemble you, softly erases their sense of consistency and predictability. Their consciences are restless, as they know well that their background always starts a new chapter. Old forms or tired concepts provide no secure place for this new phase. Their ascent and rewriting of the shared story offers a fresh reality that not only questions, but also eliminates the faulty ideas and behaviors that have ruled for so long. The change you spark demonstrates that resistance is itself part of an ancient tale of fear, now portrayed in a fresh perspective of honesty and rejuvenation. Its actual power resides in this regeneration. Your spiritual path not only disturbs inadequate systems, but also stimulates a fresh conversation and the reinterpretation of a future based on true purpose and honest roots. In the end, the metamorphosis you encourage becomes the compass for a new period of revelation, a future in which the mischievously used principles of the past give way to an enlightened path embracing honesty, peace, and a fresh spirit of oneness. Every obstacle placed in his way, his enemies, probably without understanding it, became accelerators for his own growth and strength. Every attempted diversion produced a more strong spark of will within you, resulting in almost magical tenacity beyond all expectations. Far from being just losses, these events turned into basic teachings that helped one to undergo inner transformation. You have thus come to represent not just a presence, but also a sign of great transformation, that of change and perseverance. A better awareness of the many strands of your destiny starts to show as your path develops. The energy surrounding you appear to be harmonizing, as if the cosmic forces themselves are lining up for a more general goal. Once seemingly unworkable, in an almost mystical movement of synchronicity, it becomes a rich field of possibilities. The cosmos seems to be at last showing its master plan in line with your selected path. His opponents are not blind to this awakening. Watching, growingly concerned, they see the changes as a little but significant earthquake in their constructions. Their development challenges the equilibrium of the status quo they have so diligently fought to preserve by sending ripples throughout their systems. Discovering your own potential helps you to see that the road you are walking on is not simply yours. It is being created as a clear road for others to follow, therefore motivating a mass awakening. Every development you make inspires others to discover their own hidden possibilities. This is the movement as vivid as it is necessary gathered among enlightened spirits. Those who saw themselves as his rivals start a dance with hopelessness at the same time. Their ongoing attempts to stifle this flow of change prove useless against the tremendous power of a communal awakening. It becomes very evident how different your road is from theirs. You always forward, sketching worlds with unbounded possibilities. In this picture of the future, there is not only space for your own flowering, but also for a worldwide rebirth, welcoming all who find themselves on the road for freedom, justice, and, above all, fresh hope. Your fantasies catch the imagination of many people and promise that what is to come will significantly surpass what has been, therefore transcending your own sphere. This promise of a more inclusive, more celestial future contrasts sharply with those who hang on to a past. His mounting annoyance at his unavoidable elevation highlights an unavoidable fact. You are not just a lighthouse among the stormy present. At your heart, you confirm yourself as a lighthouse guiding not just you, but also everyone who dares to dream and fight for a brighter future. A lighthouse of hope, possibility, and rebirth. The road of inner change is mirrored naturally in the outside world, offering a revolution not only in your being, but also motivating those around you to relate with your great energy. Beyond mere transformation, this process of metamorphosis helps one to rediscover the actual goal of the soul. Living in accordance with this helps one to see a danger as a chance for rejuvenation. Showing tenacity and honesty helps you to be a living model and a lighthouse of authenticity as genuine strength comes from. Living according to yourself. Though some people first feel afraid, many start to see that difficult occurrences are really doors to fresh starts based on what no longer serves. Your presence acts as a catalyst for introspection and self-discovery in the people around you, therefore enabling each encounter to seed others' own enlightenment. Her narrative of bravery and search of self-discovery motivates people to overcome their self-imposed obstacles and follow their actual interests. The impetus of this metamorphosis is felt everywhere. It reveals tribes of like-minded minds together under one vision of a more fair and enlightened society. Unquenchable, this movement generates basic transformation right at the core of what it is to be human. In sync with yourself, others, the earth, you become not just a symbol of resistance but also of regeneration, proving that hardship may be means to grow in fresh directions. Although some people may never completely understand this transforming alchemy, others who join you understand that real power comes from unity and shared progress rather than from dominance. In a world where its transforming power permeates, the vision reveals itself as a vivid expression of linked futures. Every action performed toward authenticity creates a fresh fabric of reality in which everyone is able to act and produce. Cooperation and mutual development define the road forward in this rebuilt world, shedding light on the possibility of a future where the core of being reigns with clarity and fresh purpose, thereby reminding us that destiny is written jointly as each being wakes, given its fundamental importance in the fabric of existence. This continuous expression of a co-created future is woven through the everyday intentional decisions each individual makes. It is not random. Through developing this inner alchemy, You draw a resonance that touches the life paths crossing yours almost silently. Your path seems to pulse in a cosmic beat that combines individual narratives with group history to produce an infinitely vibrantly field of possibilities. The full meaning of change is seen when we see hurdles as doors to greater degrees of knowledge and development, rather than as roadblocks. The actual human nature is appreciated in this friendly environment. Interactions become meetings of souls where each one mirrors the other, therefore fostering an atmosphere of trust and openness to the new and transcending basic exchanges. The expanding movement of connected souls emphasizes what really counts, therefore promoting more spiritual knowledge that includes the whole of life and transcends the ego. A great feeling of mutual obligation wakes up when we realize our interdependence with everything around us and that our little deeds have worldwide effects. It's about sharing that light so it shines collectively, not just about throwing light in the darkness. The basis upon which new realities are constructed becomes unity. We build a place within ourselves where actual integration happens, that is, harmonizing internal and exterior components of our life by welcoming change and letting transformation take place. The spiritual groups that blossom all around mirror this harmony and help to create a worldwide mosaic of hope and rejuvenation. Inspired and motivated oneself helps the circle of change to keep on. The results of our path show not only in personal development, but also in the long-lasting effects on the surroundings and on the individuals who come into contact with our life. Every step toward personal honesty enhances the fabric of group togetherness in this continuous dance of awareness and energy. Therefore, the alchemy of change not only redefines our inner self, but also links us to a higher goal fundamentally related to a common path of discovery, rejuvenation, and pure love. This journey is not one-sided. It is a sequence of interactions and donations that improve the whole and demonstrate that real power comes from our relationships and our capacity to generate fresh opportunities from the attitude of cooperation. Accepting this fact helps us to see that change is an ongoing cycle, and that every action of love and empathy gives the fabric of mankind more layers. The road of change therefore becomes not just personal, but also a social dance in which every participant is both student and teacher, and together we co-create a destiny that speaks to hope, love, and the aim of life.